Page 32, Gypsy Dance. Last piece in the book. You made it this far, congratulations. You've done very well. If you do not have a teacher and this is your first time through this book, I encourage you to go back and do the whole book again. Review everything. Don't be in a hurry to go on, because you'll pick up stuff that you missed or remember stuff you've forgotten. It's important that you keep it all on. You remember it all? In here, Gypsy Dance 2/4 time. Lots of 16th notes. 1 eanda, 2 eanda. You got one flat, so it's either F major or D minor. Well, let's take a look. If you look at the last measure, or here in the left hand, that's a D minor chord. So I'm guessing this is in D minor. Usually gypsy type music is in a minor key. But right hand. 1 eanda, 2 eanda. Go as slow as you got to. No hurry here. Follow their fingering. Other fingerings work fine, but we'll just use their fingering. I do have one minor suggestion I'll make, but their fingering is fine. So here, and thumb. That's very common. And just play all of these even. And with the fingering they've got, watch all these accidentals. Now, third measure. You just played the D with fourth finger. Now you can use third. And then third again. So we're using different fingers on repeated notes. That is kind of important when you go fast. I've kind of preached it a little bit. It's a little more advanced fingering style. But this is a fast piece and it will really help you. It's safer, believe it or not, if you can learn to use different fingers on repeated notes. So going into the third measure, you just played a D with fourth finger, now use third. Get to where you can do that. And then in the third measure, it's here, and then here, the 2 C sharps. And then last measure, they're saying third finger. I recommend fourth if you can. You can use third and reach down with second finger, that works too, because it's a little awkward to put a thumb on that code. So second finger if you're going to do that. So their fingering is fine, just make sure you get a second finger on the C sharp. And for the last 2 Ds, if you're going to use the same finger in here, but it's easier if you use little finger on the last one, because now you're a little closer to where you want to go for the next one, because you need to be down here. You have to practice these movements, because it happens very quickly. This is a fast piece. So second line is the same as the first, except you get a quarter note at the end. Third line, you're up here. 1 eanda, 2 eanda. 1 eanda, 2 eanda. A little syncopation going on there. Now on this little note, fourth finger, you're going to play the D again, fourth finger, and you're going to play the D and the C like 30-second notes. They're just going to go real quick. And I'm going to play the D with the left hand when I get to the left hand. So it's 1 eanda, 2 eanda. 1 eanda, 2 E, 2 E. Thumb again. And just keep using the same fingering. And then fifth finger. Watch this fingering. 1, and then second finger on the A. And those are 30-second notes, the 3 beams like that. So 1 eanda, that goes twice as fast as that. So it's 1 eanda, 1 eanda, 1 eanda. That's what it is. 1 eanda. Type thing. Those move. Really, when it gets that fast, you just boom and do it. Pretty much. Although you should control every note. You don't just bleh. That's a rolled chord, like an arpeggiated chord. Otherwise, we want to control the notes. So it's don't get too carried away. Try and control these so they're nice and even. Don't go whatever. Just do the best you can on that. Left hand, keep it down. It's just chords. Just providing harmony is all it's doing. It's no big deal. And when you get down to the third line, I recommend that you play 4th, 2, 1 on these F chords throughout the whole last 2 lines, 4, 2, 1. Because in the next measure you got that. And that way you're in position. In the last line, the third measure, you're here, and then here, and here. 4th finger on the F at the end. And then you put them together slowly. If that's too fast, slow it down. Very deliberately. The whole thing is just really slow and deliberate. Third line down, you're here. 4, 2, like so. And then the last line, last 2 measures. As slow as you got to go to get it, and you speed it up gradually. If you have a metronome, use one to gradually speed it up, but accuracy and control is more important than speed. So don't let this allegro speed get away from you. It's your allegro, not somebody else's. Dynamic wise, you're going from a soft, that's the right hand, and you're gradually crescendoing here to a fortissimo, a very loud. That's the right hand. The left hand can get a little louder, but keep it under the right hand. And then you suddenly go back down to a soft. And you're crescendoing up to a loud on the second one. Not fortissimo, just forte here on the second line. And then start out loud on the third. Now there is a ritardando at the end where you can start slowing down. I would recommend you don't slow down until the last time. Notice it's repeated. The first 2 lines are repeated, the last 2 lines are repeated. I would not do a ritardando until the end, the very last time when you do that. You don't slow down a lot. You have to experiment with it. It's a feel thing. How much do you slow down? I don't know. You feel it. What do you feel it should be? I'd like to do a very slow play with me just to make sure we got the notes and the rhythms, because that comes first. And then you can add the dynamics and the speed and all the other stuff on your own later on. So I'm going to give us 2 quarter note counts, but I'm going to put the metronome on 8th notes. So it's going to be half a beat to keep us down slow. So it's like, watch the metronome, these are 8th notes. 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and that may be too fast for you, but you can do it one hand at a time if you need to. But let's try it at that speed. Now we're going to do the repeats and everything. 1 E and 2 E go and. repeat. 2 E, 2 E, and 1 E, and 2.